Bolt action fanatics. 3 rules that beginners get wrong. Pins win games in bolt action. Stack them on a unit, it stops functioning, it fails its tests, and eventually it breaks. That's a game plan against anything that scares you. Fanatics breaks that game plan. Not because they're immune to everything, they're not, but because there are 3 separate rules sitting inside that one word, and most beginners only know one of them. And that's not on you. It's one paragraph in the rule book and it does 4 different things. The 2 you're probably missing are the ones that decide close quarter fights. So, what Fanatics actually ignores, what it absolutely does not, and the close quarters rule that makes them a nightmare if your opponent knows it and you don't. Let's go through this properly, because the rule is worth reading very carefully. If a Fanatics unit is forced to take a morale check, it ignores negative morale modifiers from pin markers, so long as the unit still has at least 2 men. Drop to 1 man and he makes the check as normal. No special treatment. So if you're going to remember one thing from this video, remember this about the Fanatics rule. It ignores pin penalties on morale checks. It does not ignore morale check itself. Now here's the part people get confused on, and the rulebook calls it out directly. Order tests are not morale checks. They are therefore modified as normal. Pins still count against an order test for a Fanatics unit. So if you're thinking my Fanatics have 6 pins, I'll just order them to advance. No, that's a 6 penalty on the order test and might not be able to do anything useful at all. So rule 1 is precise. Morale checks, pins ignored. Order test, pins apply. That distinction matters on every single turn. Rule 2 is the one I almost never see beginners use correctly, and it's sitting right there in the next sentence. In bolt action, a unit with pin markers equal to or higher than its morale value is automatically routed and destroyed. You don't roll, you don't test, it's just gone. A Fanatics unit with at least 2 men is not destroyed when that happens. The unit doesn't auto-rout. And this is where most people get it consistently wrong. They see a Fanatic unit with 8 pins and a morale of 7 and they think that unit should be dead. It isn't, they're still on the table. Now the book is honest about this. It says, and I'm quoting, such a unit is not very likely to be able to do anything until it manages to rally. So they're not running away, they're pinned to the ground, but they're alive. They're holding the objective, and the moment they rally, they're right back in the game. Now that's the difference between a unit that dies and a unit that costs your opponent another activation to deal with. Rule 3 is the one that wins and loses close quarter fights. And it's the one I see beginners not know at all on either side. When a Fanatic unit is defeated in close quarters fighting, not when it wins, not when it draws, when it loses, the fight counts as a draw. Another round is immediately fought. Read that again. It loses, it's a draw. You fight again. You keep fighting until one of 3 things happens. The Fanatics unit wins, the Fanatics unit is completely wiped out, or the Fanatics unit is defeated and left with just 1 model, in which case that last man is destroyed. So if you charge a Fanatics unit thinking 1 round of close quarters combat will see them off, you've just committed your assault unit to a fight that doesn't end until someone is gone. Your opponent's Fanatics can absorb losses round after round and keep dragging you back in. And here's the tactical read on that. If you're going to charge Fanatics, you need to win convincingly. You need enough dice to wipe them out or get them to a single model in 1 pass if you can. And if you can't do that, don't charge. You will lose more than you kill. So with all of that, you might be thinking Fanatics are just unbeatable. They're not. There are 3 specific situations where Fanatics go down like any other unit, and if you're facing them, these are your tools. First, get them to 1 man. A single model remaining loses every single Fanatics benefit. He takes morale checks with full pin penalties, he can be auto-routed, and in close quarters, if he's defeated, he's destroyed. No refight. One man is just a man, so concentrate your fire, strip the squad, and the special rule collapses. Second, order tests. Pins are not useless against fanatics, they're just useless against morale checks. If you stack pins on a fanatic unit, they might not run, but they might not be able to move, fire, or assault either. Pin them hard enough and they're frozen. They're alive, they're holding ground, but they're not doing anything while you win the game around them. Pin them, step around them, take the objectives. Third, tank assault. This one's in the book, and the book is explicit about it. When a tank moves into contact with an enemy or artillery unit, the target takes a morale check. If that check is failed, the unit is destroyed. And the rule adds in brackets, including units of fanatics. A tank morale check is not a normal morale check. Fanatics don't get to ignore it. Fail that check and they're gone regardless. So if you need to remove a fanatic unit from an objective, a tank assault is your most reliable tool. Let me flip it around now, because if you've got fanatics in your list, here's how you get the most out of all three rules. Park them in cover on an objective and let the pins pile up. Your opponent needs to either wipe them or tank assault them to shift them. Pins alone won't do it. Morale alone won't do it. That unit is holding that objective until something meaningful hits it. For close quarters, only commit your fanatics to a fight they can drag out. They don't need to win in round one, they just need to not be wiped out, and they'll keep fighting. Against lighter units, they'll grind through. The refight rule isn't a weakness, it's a war of attrition that favours the unit that can't be forced to leave. And watch out for the order test trap. Don't load them up with pins and expect them to charge in. Pin management matters. Rally them when you can, because a pin fanatics unit that can't activate is costing you the turns you need to win. So, quick recap. 3 rules inside one word. 1. Morale checks with 2 or more men. Ignore pin penalties. Order tests. Pins apply as normal. 2. Auto-rout prevention with 2 or more men. Pins equaling or exceeding your morale value won't destroy you automatically, but you're still not doing much until you rally. 3. Close quarters refight. You lose, it's a draw, you fight again, until someone's gone or you're down to just one man. And to shift them, one model, tank assault, or pin lock them out of their activations. Now if you want to plan out for your next game, I have my 1-page game plan sheet, which I go through before every game that I play, and it helps me list out everything. Just put game plan down below and I'll send you a copy. And why not like and subscribe while you're down there? Get you every new video the instant it goes live. And if you've had a fanatic situation go wrong on the table or right, drop a comment below. Love to hear from you all. So take care guys, and I'll see you all again soon.